Hi, I'm Natalie.
And I'm Amy.
And we're Stella's Table.
Today we're going to be making Italian biscottini,
which means little cookies in Italian.
Let's cook. For this recipe, you will need flour, whole raw almonds, the white of an egg, sugar, unsalted butter,
2 whole eggs, baking powder, salt, vanilla, and almond extract.
We're going to start off by roasting our almonds. So you're going to take the almonds, wait for it, put them on the pan, shake it up,
shake and bake,
and spread them out nice and evenly. And then you're going to put them in the oven on 325 degrees. And you're going to wait for about 10 minutes or until you smell that fragrant almond smell. It's just wonderful to smell in your kitchen, and that's when they're done. And let's just set them aside now, let them cool for a few minutes until we get ready to process them. To begin, we're going to process 1 cup of the roasted almonds in the food processor. When you do this, you're going to process or pulse for about 10 to 12 times until you break down those almonds just a little bit, and then you're going to set them aside.
Next, we'll put the remaining almonds into the food processor, and we'll run it for about 45 seconds until it becomes a meal, and then we'll add the rest of the ingredients.
All right, I'm going to add the flour, and then let's add the baking powder
and the salt.
Boom. We're going to mix just to incorporate, so I don't know, about 5 seconds. There you go. And now we're going to take this and put it into a separate bowl and set aside. Now we're going to process the wet ingredients, starting with the 2 eggs.
Add them to beat them.
Yeah, add them to your food processor, and you're going to turn it on. You're going to let these double in size, and the color will change to a lighter color, but it's going to go for quite a bit. So at this point, you might want to step away. Okay, now we're going to slowly add the sugar. Now that the eggs have changed in color and they have more volume, so slowly, I use a funnel just so I don't make a mess in the kitchen, and just slowly add your sugar and let that go ahead and process in with the egg. Then once that's processed, you're going to turn off the food processor and you're going to add the rest of your wet ingredients. Butter, almond extract, and vanilla. Now let's put it all together. You're going to start by putting your liquid into the bowl. Let's add half the flour to start, otherwise it will be overwhelming. Stir it all up. Fold it in just until combined. Once combined, go ahead and add the flour and your nice toasted almonds, and then fold to combine, and you're ready to go. Now we're ready to form our logs. Let's do a 2 by 9 by 3/4 inch high dimension for each one. I actually have a jig my husband made for me so that mine turn out pretty precise.
I don't have a mold like that, so all I do is I draw out the mold on the parchment, turn the parchment paper over, and I use that as my guide.
Either way works. Let's get started with the mold. So, or jig, or whatever you want to call it. First thing you're going to do, and I do this usually over the sink to be honest, but I just spray the inside of the jig, place it down. You're going to get 4 logs by the end of this. Throw in some dough. You're going to kind of shape it. Don't worry about it being too smooth right now. We're going to work on that later. Just getting it into the mold the right amount. All right, so you're going to press it in here just like that. Make sure it's nice and full to the top. You want that 3/4 inch dimension. And then you're going to go ahead and just use your fingers. This is why you grease it, and move to the next one. I do about 2 of them at a time before I re-spray.
This will make about 4 logs, this batch.
All right, so I'm just finishing them off. If for some reason your dough doesn't equal 4 exact logs, don't worry about it. Just cut off your last log right at the edge. Before these go into the oven, we're going to do a little oil spray on each one of them, form them to make them a little bit smoother, and then we're going to add our egg wash. That's just 1 egg white with a little pinch of salt.
And mine come out just as nice as this without the form. I just use the offset spatula to help get them a little bit more evenly into their little rectangle shapes.
Yeah, so just using the offset spatula, you can also spray that with a little oil to make sure that it's not sticking to your dough. And you can balance out the shape.
That way they'll cook more evenly in the oven.
Yeah, and you don't have to be crazy. Honestly, Natalie, do you think Mom ever did this? No.
And they tasted the same.
This part is just a little bit to make them that uniform shape that we love. They look great. We've smoothed them out, and now we're going to add the egg wash. Just do this on each individual one. You're going to get that nice, shiny
egg white wash.
Egg white wash. What did I say?
You said egg wash.
Okay.
Egg white.
Oh, I'm sorry, Natalie. Did I not get that terminology right? Thanks. See, I'm not the only bossy one in this family. All right, here we go. That's it. Now, into the oven. Okay, it's time to check the cookies for the first round. Let's take a look. Notice here how they're slightly cracked and a little bit golden. You don't want to go more than this. So let's pull them. They're ready to go.
We're going to put these on a cooling rack for 30 minutes now, and then we'll come back and cut them.
Now it's time to cut the logs into cookies. We're going to start cutting at a slight angle, about a ½ inch thick. Try to keep your cookies consistent in size so they cook evenly. So here we go. I always start by cutting the end off and letting whoever wants to snack on it.
That would be me.
And then using the angular serrated knife, I'm going to go ahead and cut as evenly as I can. Don't worry too much if your cookies don't come out exactly the same.
They're really good.
So cutting here, and then we're going to be putting them on a cookie sheet that has a cooling rack on top of it. And we're going to just take those cookies. You can see here we've begun the process. And we're going to just place those spaced out. We don't want them to be right next to each other because you want all parts of the cookie to cook. And then you're going to get them back in the oven for about 15-20 minutes until they're the brown you want, and you're done. Oh, delicious. They're perfectly golden brown, just the way we want them. And we double bake them so that they're going to last up until at least a month in your kitchen. Now it's time to enjoy.
How do you like to eat them?
I like them with our lemon honey jelly. I'm dipping her in.
And I like it with my latte.
Yum.
So good. Yummy. Find the link for this recipe in the description below and on our website at stellastable.com.
Today we're going to be making Italian biscottini.
Which means small Italian.
Small cookies.
I know. Small cookies in Italian.
You don't have to say in Italian. Just
Okay.
say it means small cookies. Unsalted.
Eggs. Let's just do some. Oh, kidding. Okay. So now, pause it. Sorry, I tried to hold off. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? How do you like that?